Here in Corsica, let's say until 100, 150 years ago, most of the land around the villages was actually food forest, with fruit trees everywhere, and a little bit further from the villages there were chestnut orchards. And I just want to show you this area where I'm right now. Down there you can see cherry trees, fig tree, walnut. Over there we have an elderberry tree, elderberry shrub. On that side, fig tree. And look at these huge walls. They made stone walls everywhere to basically create terraces, because it's very steep here. And it's just impressive to see how much fruit and nuts, how much edible there is basically. Here also a beautiful walnut tree. And right over there, another huge fig tree. Unfortunately, because most of those trees, or basically all those trees here, they are abandoned, so no one is actually taking care of them. They are not really producing much food anymore, because for multiple reasons. One of them, I think, is climate change. As the climate has warmed up and it's become much drier here, especially in summer, those trees are basically not able anymore, maybe certain years, but it's very rare, to find enough water to actually produce food. And I don't know if you can see this very clearly on the camera, but I'm gonna try to point it out. This area, that area right over there, was a huge chestnut orchard. And when you look closely, I hope you can see this, you see a lot of dead trees, and all of those dead trees are chestnut trees. And so the next village is just behind that hill. And so basically the area in between those villages was covered with chestnut trees. And unfortunately, due to a combination of diseases, climate change and abandonment, most of those orchards are gone, or are dying, or are dead. That's very sad. And yeah, but here we also see the last remains of the fruit tree abundance, with again a fig tree here. Next to it, I think this is a plum, if I'm not mistaken. And down here there's another plum tree. And down there are multiple plum trees. Then there are huge fig trees behind. And up there you can see they are dying. Those are, I think, cherry trees. Most of them. Maybe some plum. And it's on the one hand it's very inspiring to see all these remainings from the past. But on the other hand, it's very sad to see how actually is just disappearing. And this is very interesting, because sometimes we hear that food forests are systems that once they are planted, they will take care of themselves forever, and they don't need any care. But this is actually not true in this context here in Corsica, because of probably the climate, which is pretty dry in summer. Most of those will eventually die due to heat stress and drought. This is a majestic walnut tree, one of the most beautiful trees I know here. And down there there's someone who keeps honeybees. Yeah, so those fruit trees, even though they are not really producing fruit anymore, they still produce nectar for the bees. So the honeybees are pretty happy with that. And basically this whole area that you can see, the valley is also next to those huge mountains over there. They were the heart of this Castagniccia region, the region rich in chestnut trees, where basically their daily lives evolved around chestnuts, because it was their main food source, and it was also their main export source. And now, unfortunately, because everyone has gone from those, has left those regions, everything is dying and there's not much left. Just a few people who try still to grow some chestnuts or olives, or who raise pigs, for example.